Hello, everyone. I'm very glad to see you all today here. It's our second Unicorn event together with wonderful girls who I will represent a bit later. Now I will start demonstrating my screen. And sorry, not here. Slideshow. Excuse me, please. I was checking your pitch decks, so let's start. And again, welcome to this wonderful unicorn pitches in Israel. This event is held with very great help of our organizers, Jennifer and Jessica. Thank you, girls. And also thank you our sponsors, our Platinum Sports sponsor Network VC, our golden sponsor Silicon Valley Syndicate Club, and our silver sponsor Startup Inc. And our unicorn events are held in 3 stages. Today, you are all present here at the first stage of the local online pitch contest, where local Israeli startups will pitch their great solutions in front of the auditorium of experts, angels, VCs, and other VC amateurs of all over the world. And the winner of today's event will pitch in the second stage, Unicorn Battle, as more international judges will be represented there. And the winner of today's event will represent Israel in general. And the winner of our second stage will represent the whole region in the global finals. The next global finals will be on the March 3rd. So come everyone, you are all welcome. We will see our future unicorns together. And let me tell you briefly about our ecosystem. We are the smart ecosystem that consists of software solutions and internet platforms for investors, startups, entrepreneurs, and allows to settle different questions in the one particular place. We also have our smart platform Startup Inc. That helps to seek extraordinary startups and go into deals with top VCs. We also have Unicorn.Events. Here we are, the global online pitch contest, which was declared the biggest online pitch contest for geography and number of events held. We have our VC house as a closed community where top VCs can exchange deals where they are like lead investors. We have our Silicon Valley Syndicate Club as a closed entity where you can unite your groups of people and invest in the form of syndicate. And in the center of our network is our seed fund, Network VC. We usually invest up to $500,000 US. And now I would like to free this floor to my wonderful colleagues of today's event, co-organizers Jennifer and Jessica from Israel, from company Bridge Take It Forward. Please, girls, stage is yours.
Thank you so much, Maria. I believe that Jennifer froze a little bit, so I'm going to introduce us. So my name is Jessica Rasner, and my partner Jennifer Elias is here as well. Some of the startups know us here personally as well. We are the founders of Take It Forward, an innovation agency based in Israel. We create innovation programs in order to help investors and corporates work with Israeli technologies. Over the years, we've launched over 100 innovation programs, competitions, accelerators, corporate innovations for clients across Europe, Asia, and the US and South America. Through creating these experiences and relationships, we have built a very large network of Israeli tech and research discoveries and ecosystem partners. And we really enjoy and are excited to establish innovation as key characteristics across our partners' businesses and growth strategies. We are really happy to present here and all of these amazing startups that we'll pitch today and that are changing the future as we know it. The competition of today is tech agnostic, so the following startups are from diverse verticals and will be judged on their innovation level, creativity, and teams. We would like to say a big thank you to the Unicorn team and especially Maria. We love working with you and we love this partnership. And of course, to our talented panel of judges who accepted the tough job of evaluating the startups today. and may the best startup win.
Thank
Maria,
you.
the floor is yours.
Thank you. Thank you, Jessica. Let the best winner win today. And before we start our pitching session, let's give a floor to our experts, to our judges who volunteered their time and joined us today. Please, judges who wants to be the first, please raise hand below the screen, and you are free to tell about yourselves, your funds, your sphere of interest, of investments. Please, who would be the first? Yeah, please. Okay, start, please, Ori. You are muted.
Hi, everyone. Good afternoon to everyone. I'm really excited to be here as a judge. My name is Ori Turkia-Shelas, and I'm a labor and employment advocate, working especially with startups and grown-ups high-tech industry. Hope everyone will have a good time here today. I hope to learn from our startups here. Good luck to everyone.
Thank you. Mubin?
Thank you, everyone. Hello, my name is Mubin. I'm from Pakistan. I've been working with government of Pakistan for implementing Industry 4.2 initiatives. Also, I have been the co-founder of Breathe.io. It is a startup for wellness of human being on the planet Earth. And also I'm the author of the book IoTpreneurship. So thank you very much.
Thank you. I thought Ahad wanted to tell something. Okay.
Sure. Hi, everybody. My name is Ahad Superman. I'm a managing partner at Airgreen Food Technologies Fund. It's a VC fund that focuses on agriculture and food technologies. We invest in two avenues. One is the regular startups avenue, like all other VCs, but we also invest in technologies that originate in Israeli research and organizations and universities, and we bring them to the market together with business partners from the relevant verticals in Israel and the global markets. And I'm very happy to be here, and thank you, Maria, for the invitation.
Thank you. Please, Adam.
Hello, guys. Nice to meet you all. Pretty excited to take part of this amazing event. So myself, I'm from the blockchain industry, but at the core element, I'm more of strategy and marketing for blockchain and crypto. I founded Crypto Valley Israel 2017 to become one of the first blockchain agencies in Israel. That means we provide a lot of services, including introduction with blockchain companies to VCs, including business models, introduction to the blockchain space and ecosystem, big blockchain advocate, and maybe one day we'll solve this Zoom issue and we'll have more fun in a metaversic kind of space and place. So Web3 and metaverse are also a big part of my day-to-day life with startups. And yeah, may the best startup win.
Thank you. The word is to Uriah, please.
Good afternoon, everybody. It is a great honor to participate in this edition of Unicorn Pitches. I'm a strategic execution advisor and entrepreneur, and I've been doing that for more than 15 years, and mostly in the EMEA region. Being myself a co-founder since 2002, I learned how execution is tough and how important it is to have operations aligned to strategy and the other way around. So typically, CEOs and investors come to me to look for concrete, I would say side-by-side, hands-on support to execute their growth initiatives. And I would say there are so many opportunities all around us today that I'm just, I look forward to hearing new things from the Israeli ecosystem. Lately, I've been working a lot in Europe, and there is a a lot of hunger for everything that is coming from Israel. So I just want to hear from all of you. Thanks.
Thank you. Yarden, hi, please.
Yeah, hi everyone. Great to be here. My name is Jordan and I work with Ibex Investors. We are a US-based fund. We manage today $1.2 billion and we invest in Israeli startups across all stages. So basically from pre-seed to pre-IPO. And my team invests in early stage startups, seed, pre-seed, that foggy boundaries is a bit unclear, but very excited to be here and happy to hear everyone's speeches.
Thank you. Thank you. Please, Pedro.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. My name is Pedro. I'm part of the investment team here at Mindset Ventures. We are an early stage venture capital firm investing in the US and Israel and helping these foreign startups come and do business in Brazil and Latin America as a whole, if and when it makes sense for them. We invest in B2B software startups, mainly in cybersecurity, fintech, healthcare, and agriculture. Average check sizes of $1 to $2 million, and usually co-investing with local VCs. We already have more than 50 companies in our portfolio, and out of those, 10 of them are already doing business here in Brazil, which kind of shows this value that we try to add. So thanks for the invitation of being here, and good luck for the startups.
Thanks. And please, Mohammed.
Thank you. My name is Mohammed Bilal. I am from Pakistan. I'm a founder of Breathe.io, and we work in the health industry, the health tech, and we designately partner and invest strategically with other startups that are working in the IoT aspect, Internet of Things. I have a 10+ years hardware and software background, author of 2 books, advisor to almost 3 startups. So good luck, guys. I'm really excited to see what everybody is going up. And I won't say may the best startup. I would say all the startups would win one way or the other. Just stick to it long enough.
Yes, that's true. Thank you. Thank you, judges. Any other volunteers to tell us about yourselves? Okay. If not, we
This has been a call. I'll be happy to chime in.
Hi, everybody. This is Victoria Mehron. I am a venture partner at Expert Dojo, based in Southern California. We are the biggest international accelerator fund based in Southern California. We are more like a growth studio for launchpadding to the US. We are investing in various industries, including blockchain, cybersecurity, fintech, deep tech, and biotech. I'm happy that I'm here, looking forward to be a judge at this event.
Thank you, Victoria. We have raised hand from John.
Yes, good afternoon. Thank you for inviting me here. I guess my background is a little bit different in that I started my career for the first 24 years in public capital markets, in debt capital markets and equity capital markets. And then I ran investment management master programs at universities in the UK and then China. But since 2016, I've focused on startup companies and SMEs in China and ASEAN. As I have a general business background and not a hard science background, I help them with commercialization, marketing, business strategy, and aspects like that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And now the word is to Benny.
Hi, good morning or good afternoon. Can you hear me well? Yes, I'm Benny Robinstein. I thank you for the invitation. I live in Tel Aviv. I'm originally from Brazil. I was part of Microsoft for about 15 years, running incubation groups for clouds. And I was also the founder CEO of Acelera Partners, which was the first partner of Microsoft Ventures in Latin America. And I'm very glad to be here.
Thanks. Thank you, Benny. And we are moving next. Dear judges, each of you has your voting links on your emails. Please follow the link, and there you will see your profile and icons of today's startup pitching. How to evaluate? We evaluate from 1 till 5. 1 is the lowest mark, 5 is the highest mark. And after the pitch session closes, I will close voting process and you won't have a possibility to change your mind. Before this time, you can change your mind and please evaluate just what you want. We are starting from investment potentials and finishing the manner of talking about, manner of pitching of our startups. So please, next, vote. And girls, let's start our main part, our wonderful pitch session by our startups. Today we have 7 wonderful companies to pitch their solutions to our auditorium. Please.
Thank you, Maria. So we are excited to introduce the wonderful startups that will be pitching and competing. Please feel free to raise your hands when I say your name. Head Habitat with CEO Elliot. Airgreen Ltd, CEO Gedaliahu, Vodis with CEO Mariel Weber, Robot AI with CEO Uri Dubin, Ultrawise or Twiz, sorry, with CEO Asaf Yarkoni, Biotic with CEO Adi Goldman, and last but not least, D2B with CEO Orla Hat. Just a reminder, each startup will share their screen for their pitch. You will have 3 minutes to pitch, followed by Q&A from the judges. I wish you all good luck, and we are very excited to see your presentation and hear your pitch. Please go ahead, Head Habitats.
Hi everyone, good afternoon, especially for those who are in Israel. I'm just going to share my screen, 1 second. I think you should already be able to see it, but something doesn't work, sorry. It worked when we tried earlier. Let me do it just like that. Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. I'll quickly introduce myself. My name is Elliot. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Head Habitat. My background is in healthcare and in entrepreneurship. Next to me, or right now sitting across from me, is Lior, my co-founder. He's our CMO, and his background is in psychology and in marketing. And last year, we sat together. We looked at the mental health care market as it is today. And we found there's a massive gap, massive problem for millions of people. And the problem is the following. We're very happy and very excited with the increased awareness for mental health disorders. We see it in the news, we see it from celebrities. But if we look at the solutions, especially solutions for young people, for Gen Z, for millennials, there are typically only 2 types of services offered right now. On the one extreme, here on the left side, we have the wellness apps like Calm and Headspace, which are great for meditation, for mindfulness, but they don't approach real mental health disorders, real anxiety, real PTSD, real trauma. And on the other end of the extreme, we have these hardcore clinical apps where you can basically just talk to a therapist online, one-on-one, like you're used to offline. But the main problem is that many, especially young people, are not yet willing to go to a therapist. And that's the huge gap that we see. Young people, instead, what they do is they go online, they look for help online on Google, on YouTube, they look for support on Reddit, and we see hundreds of thousands, millions of people on these platforms. And that's why we at Head Habitat are looking for these people and giving them a better option, a better solution. And our solution, first of all, it's on demand and it's frictionless. So young people, Gen Z, we grew up with social media, we grew up with Netflix, with YouTube. We want a solution that's right away, that we can just log in and get help right away. We don't want to wait until we match with a therapist. We don't want to fill out long questionnaires to see if we fit to a specific therapist and so on. And we also want something that's affordable. And our solution, Head Habitat, starts for free. And it starts with unlimited video courses that are just like masterclass, very high level, very high quality, and interactive exercises. And there we educate the patient on their mental health condition, that it's okay not to be okay, that it's okay to have a bit of anxiety, a bit of depression. And we give them tools on how to reduce the symptoms and how to overcome their problem. And over time, we connect these people with other people who are very similar to them in terms of demographics and who suffer from the same condition, so that they can form online safe spaces, online communities, do group therapy sessions, and so on. And over time, you see this a little bit like a funnel. We get the patient to become ready for therapy, for one-on-one therapy, and later on also for medication subscriptions. Our platform is already live. We have over 20 courses on our platform with over 13 instructors and over 1,000 users already benefiting every day from our courses. and we're still bootstrapped as of today. So we're raising our pre-seed round of $1 million to build out our product, to develop more, to produce more content, and to grow our user base. And so if like us, you are passionate about mental health and you think you can, we should improve on this problem, please join us, and let's change the mental well-being of millions of people worldwide. Thank you.
Thank you. Judges, would you like to start your questions? You can raise your hand so that we know. Yes, Ria.
Hi there. What about the business models in terms of the therapist?
So I only have 3 minutes, so I'll do it very quickly.
Of course.
Our business model is as follows. We have basically 3. So first of all, we have B2C subscription. It starts as a freemium model. So we get a lot of people at the top of the funnel, and then over time, the group therapy subscription, for example, is $15 a month, then it goes to $50, where we need also kind of the insurance companies to work with us and reimbursement and so on. We have a B2B aspect where, for example, insurance companies can offer our service to their insurees, and companies can offer our service to their employees to reduce burnout, to reduce stress, and so on. And the last model we have is somehow B2C2B. It's basically using our user data, generating a lot of data from a lot of users, aggregating it, anonymizing it, and then selling that to different stakeholders in the healthcare field. So it can be pharmaceutical companies doing research on specific problems for specific demographics. It can be, for example, hospital systems that want to kind of figure out, once the patient has been in treatment for, let's say, 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, and he gets released at home, what happens with him? How is he feeling after 1 month or 2 months? We can track him with our platform. We can see how he interacts with other users, what content he consumes, does he do the exercises, and so on. And we can sell this data basically back to the insurance company, for example, the healthcare provider, to prevent deterioration and to say, okay, listen, this guy has a crisis in his life, maybe you should intervene now before he needs to be hospitalized, and so on.
Thank you. What about the therapist? What is your model with the therapist?
So the therapist, basically, it's an arbitrage model. So they get basically a cut for each therapy session. It's like what BetterHelp does in Talkspace. We are honestly not yet sure if we want to be more of a marketplace, so integrate other therapists from other platforms, because it will take us obviously a long time to get all of these therapists onto our own platform. But basically, if the user pays, let's say, for a group therapy session, I don't know, $10 a month, and you have 10 patients in one session, the therapist gets amount X, and we basically take a cut from that.
Could you tell me what is the amount?
It depends. It depends on the type of subscription, the tier the user is in. And obviously, the higher subscriptions, for example, one-on-one therapy is much more expensive, but that's also when we get reimbursement from the insurance providers.
Markets that you are?
Right now we're focused on English-speaking markets, so we're pretty big in the US, Canada, UK, New Zealand, also South Africa. That's where we do a lot of the testing. But right now we're focusing on English-speaking countries.
Thanks a lot. Thank you and good luck.
Thank you. Is there any other judge who wants to ask a question? Okay, great. So next is Airgreen. Please feel free to share your pitch.
Okay. Do you hear me? Hi.
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you.
You can hear me?
Yes.
You can hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you.
What happened?
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear.
Okay.
We can hear you. Can you please share your screen?
My name is Gedaliahu Manor, and I am president and researcher of Airgreen Limited, a small company that we started with, and I have a patent pending of a new system to change all farm machinery tasks using electricity by no less workers, because it will be almost a robotic farming, and it will do all the tasks with many little number of workers, and of course using electricity instead of diesel oil. That's for the environment. That's what we have already started with a small tractor to work in greenhouses, and doing all the tasks in the greenhouses instead of men and small machines, maybe here and there. And we are going also to do it for covered areas with PV panels using for electricity, mainly in orchards, but also on fields. And this is what we started already. And the main task is to use the machine to be movable in a field with the machines operating under it. And by doing it, you will cover a whole field in a small time with no need of workers. And of course, only by electricity, all the machines, all the tasks in the field will be done by electricity. If you have some questions, we're ready to do.
Thank you very much. Do any of the judges want to ask any questions?
I raise my hand.
Okay.
Hello.
Yes, John.
Perhaps you could just give a brief overview of the company, the number of people, sort of your level of activity, the commercial side so far.
We are a small company. We are doing several things, mainly sprayers, new type of sprayers, which are using 50% of the chemicals with no side effects because there is no drip outside. And we started with small tillage machinery, which use 50% of the energy which is being used now by doing the same task in the field, the tillage operation.
Just one follow-up question. How are you planning to grow your business? Who are your customers and how do you find them?
We are going first to work with a bigger company, which is doing something similar in a little bit. And we hope that we will work together, mainly with starting a new company. Otherwise, we will have to find out somebody to work with. And the customers are all over the world because it is good for big farmers mainly, but not only, because it's good also for greenhouses and small areas covered by PV panels for electricity.
Lastly, how many people are in Airgreen at the moment working
full-time? At the moment, we are 4 people.
4 persons. Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you. So next, Hyrie, I see that you also have a question. Go ahead.
Curious, where Airgreen do produce for the timing, the spray, and everything that is needed?
What we are doing for the spraying, we are using.
Where do you produce it?
We are producing a special air outlets which cause the air to have a special type of air turbulence to get the chemistry, the droplets inside the canopy without going outside and cover better both sides of the leaves, which no other is doing it.
Where is this manufactured? Do you manufacture in Israel? Or do you manufacture out? Okay, so everything is coming out of Israel.
Excuse me?
Everything is manufactured in Israel?
Yes, everything is manufactured in Israel.
Thank you.
Can you do me a favor?
Thanks a lot.
Don't bring it.
Victor,
Sorry.
Yeah, we got an, I mean, the host can actually mute it temporarily.
Excuse me?
Yeah, so my question to you would be, as it's an electric process and you have a patent filed already, how energy efficient is that?
About, I can't understand just for.
The process is in electric, it's powered by electricity, right?
Electricity, it can be powered by any grid line or PV panels as well, because they are connected to a grid line.
Right. How energy efficient it is as compared to other processes that exist around the scope?
This depends on the machines. We will work on it because the tasks depends on the machines working out. And the machines, if they are using diesel oil or electricity, it doesn't change the needs of the energy of the machines themselves. We already have many machines are using less energy to doing the tillage systems as well as a part, which means all type of tillage from plow to a subsoiler and planting as well. Instead of just pulling something in the soil, we are rotating it and using less 50% energy.
Thank you. Thank you very much. That's the figure, 50% less energy. Thank you very much.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you. I see also a question from Benny.
Thank you. Very interesting work. I wonder, I see you are fundraising now. What's your next milestone? I mean, what do you plan to do with the next round of investments, and what's your next milestone?
The next milestone depends on the investments that we can get, because we are small and we already invest in it several millions Israeli money.
Thank you.
Thank you. And I see also a question from Adam.
Yeah, hi. Hello, sir. Very interesting project. My question is are you involved with like a government contract, or it's specifically for private contractors and field owners and people like that?
So there was some background sound that I couldn't really understand.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I hear you, but there is a background noise.
I see. I'll try to speak clearly. I was asking if behind the project, is there government or institutes or private owners of field?
Private owners.
I see. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you, Gedalia. I would like to invite our next startup, Votis, with CEO Mehron Weber to present.
Hi, can everybody hear me? Okay, good. Thank you for having me. I'm Mehron Weber, and I'm a co-founder as well as CEO and president of Votis Subdermal Imaging Technologies. Our slogan is, "We help you keep your feet." And in the next 3 minutes, I hope to explain how we do that and why it's significant. What you see here is a mock-up of our device. We're a company whose product is still in development. We're about to start a clinical trial in a feasibility study, and we hope to launch our first product at the end of this year, the beginning of next year. What we're doing is developing a diagnostic medical device to screen for and quantify peripheral artery disease, or PAD, in the feet of people, even when it's an asymptomatic disease. Globally, there are more than 200 million people who have PAD. That's more than people who have ischemic heart disease or heart failure or Alzheimer's or even cancer. If you have PAD, you've got poor blood flow or you've got low oxygen in the blood that's flowing into the foot. And when you get a cut, a wound, or even an abrasion in your foot, it doesn't heal. And instead it stays as an open sore and can get infected or can get gangrene. And when that happens, the only solution might be to amputate the foot. And that comes with a lot of morbidity and mortality. What we have is a device that is easy to use and administer. It's based on technology that we're licensing from Columbia University in New York City. We have a staff of 15 people in our company here in Israel. We've got hardware and software components. What you see in the foreground of this image are patches that are attached to the feet of a patient during a 5-minute examination. Pressure cuff is inflated, and infrared and near infrared light are directed into the foot. And then the scattering and the absorption of the light will give information about the oxygen content in the tissue. And from that, we can derive information about the specific location of peripheral artery disease in the foot, as well as how severe it is. And this will give the doctor the tools that the doctor needs in order to prescribe therapies or to, in the case of a revascularization, understand which arteries are implicated in it. Because of the timing of this, I will cut to our team, which is a very important part of what we're doing. We have an executive chairman who is a fellow of the Royal College of Surgery. He is a cardiothoracic surgeon. Our translational hardware consultant has his doctorate from Harvard in applied physics, and he's worked for 40 years in photonics. Our director of software development has his BA and MS from Harvard in software. Our director of marketing worked at Philips and worked at Novartis in diabetes devices. And our clinical officer is a PhD who has worked with both medical device and pharmaceutical companies. We're projecting to roll out our first product at the end of this year, and we expect to break even in 2025.
Fantastic, thank you. I'll give the floor to the judges. I already see that Pedro and Benny have their hands raised. Pedro, would you like to go first?
Yeah, sure. So thank you for the presentation. Could you share a bit more about your business model? So do you sell on a per product basis, on a per hardware basis, or more of a annual license? And also, could you give some figures on the overall market size that you're tackling?
Yes, the devices, again, we're pre-revenue, but our model is to work solely through distributors. The devices are very inexpensive to make, single-digit thousands of dollars, $3,000 to make the device. And then the technology is cloud-based. So we're doing the calculation based on every procedure, and we're billing on a software as a service model that incorporates the consumables, which are relatively small. It's an envelope that the patch fits into that's attached to the foot. As far as the market size, we're projecting that we're going to be achieving in 2026, we expect to get to $100 million in sales, which sounds like a huge number, but that's only dealing with 8% of the addressable market in a couple of key locations. It would be the United States, the United Kingdom, Italy, France, Germany, and about 1.5% of the market in India. But with 200 million people around the world who have PAD, and recommendations that everybody who's older than 50 who has diabetes should have a PAD exam at least on an annual basis, we think that there's a significant market for the product.
Thank you.
Thank you. Benny, would you like to go with your question?
Thank you, Jessica. Yeah, it's very impressive technology, very promising, and a great team. My main question is around the regulatory aspects. I mean, your projections, I assume that you are being optimistic and hopefully realistic around the time to get CE, FDA, and all the other regulatory approvals. I wonder if you can comment a little bit on what sort of testing or probing you've done on how quickly and how certain you think that it will be? What's the timing for the regulatory approvals?
As you said, I hope I'm both optimistic and realistic. We're going for 510K clearance in the United States, and our regulatory counsel is the law firm Epstein Becker. They've identified some predicate devices for us to use. We don't expect to have to do a significant clinical trial because we're not giving a full diagnosis. We're simply quantifying the condition. And we've been told to expect between 50 and 100 patients. In our clinical trial, we expect to do it at USC and Columbia and Hadassah Hospital here in Israel, as well as we've got some people in Leeds in England and in Milan and in Hamburg who are interested in participating. So enrollment should come fairly quickly. We're going to be a class 2 device. We're non-invasive. We don't use ionizing radiation. The only thing that goes into the body is light. In Europe, we're working with TÜV Süd as our notified body for CE marking.
So it's class 2, but it's diagnosis, right?
Yes. Although we're avoiding the word diagnosis. We're calling it assessment.
I know. I've been on the medical space for a while, hence the chills. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks. Mubin, you want to go next with your question?
Yes, thank you very much. It looks very exciting to me. I
Thank
want to ask about the benchmarking and the accuracy stats, if you have any. And one more thing, that how is it integratable to other medical or IoT devices that relates to you? So these are two questions.
Sure. Prototypes were developed at Columbia before we licensed the technology, and they were tested on 150 human subjects, showing sensitivity and specificity in excess of 90%. In terms of how it's integratable, we're working with a company now. We haven't really started the project, but we've signed a letter of intent to work with a company in India to integrate our system into a series of e-clinics that they hope to put into wellness centers. The government there is building up to 150,000 wellness centers around the country in rural areas. And what our software hopes to do is integrate the findings from our device with findings from others to give a more comprehensive view of what's happening within the foot. I don't know if that answers your question, if you've got other follow-up.
And also, if you have any joint ventures planned ahead for your hardware element.
We don't have any joint ventures planned for the hardware. We're probably going to no, we don't have any joint ventures planned for the hardware. Although the device, as you saw from the picture, is a standalone device that's the size of a small desktop computer.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. John?
Yes, just a follow-up question on the market, as was asked before. You said you would be selling through distributors. Who are the actual users of this product? Are they hospitals and private GP clinics? Are they the people who will be using this technology? And does that require some sort of training or backup for them to use it effectively?
It's the hospitals and GP clinics, and we're designing the device specifically so it's easy to operate by a technician. I know that the standards or the customs in different countries vary, and in Italy we were told that doctors primarily will be administering the device, whereas in the United States it's nurses or nurse practitioners or other technicians who are doing that. I'm sorry, there was another part to your question which I don't recall.
I think you've covered it. You've identified the end users, which are hospitals and private clinics. And the second part was just about, is there a training required? But you've alluded to the fact that they should be able to learn it simply, maybe with online instructions or something, if that's a correct assumption.
Yes, not necessarily online, but minimal training on the devices.
Okay.
It's simply a matter of attaching a few patches to the foot, 4 patches, and putting a pressure cuff around the thigh above the knee.
Great, thank you. Thank you very much. Next, I would like to invite Robot AI with CEO Uri.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Mehron.
Thank you very much. I hope you can hear me. So my name is Uri Dubin. I'm a CEO of Robot AI. So before I begin, I'll show you something amazing. This is my cup, and I can grab it. This was amazing. We humans do it all the time without thinking, but think, for example, that you are a robot and you need to catch this cup. You need to have some kind of sensor that gives you distance, orientation of this cup. Only then you can do the motion. It's usually a very complex task, and we try to simplify it. So let me show what we are doing. So the automation in manufacturing is a huge problem. $355 billion that's still unsolved. Many people are doing manual tasks. There is a huge issue with that. Our competition, if you do robotics, you compete with humans, and it requires also sophistication and also be very price sensible. And one of the main issues that people have, and this is a huge deal today, is our ability of our brain to understand and grab objects. That's something that we do very easily. How we do it, it's not clear for us. But if you imagine that robot can do the same, it will be able to do and work in human-like environments. And I think this is one of the barriers that exist today. So not only me thinking like this, there's many people are doing 3D vision, trying to understand object using sensors that project light, lasers, doing all kind of devices, complex sensors, and they have all kind of drawbacks. For example, they cannot see always objects that are translucent, reflective, and the other issues. So what we did, we understood that we do not need lasers. With a single camera, like your smartphone, we can understand 3D position of objects, recognize them, and give this information to the robot. And this is what is very important information, to be able to work with objects and move them around. So we provide the entire solution where you can not only have this one ability to extract the information, also we can teach robot about different objects, because everybody has different objects to work with. We are a software company. Our customers usually have a robot, they buy their own cameras. What is happening that they install our software, and then we take the picture, and this picture is transformed to coordinates, and robot can move and work with objects. And what is important, that it gives you ability to work with objects that is not possible to work when you have a laser-based technologies, because using RGB camera is very effective and also has many different benefits, for example, speed. So we are software, like a SaaS model. Approximately we charge $3,000 for the robot for a year, and this is already proven model. Our go-to-market, it's actually we are looking at a huge, we expect $180 billion market of vision for robotics, where we're starting with companies that address come from robotic manufacturing, sensor manufacturing, and integrators, big corporates, and they all have many different plants and many different robots, and through them we're trying to expand, and we expect that in several years from now we'll have a revenue around $3.6 million in total. We are 3 years old, but we already have a very good traction. We are working with companies like Deutsche Telekom, Ford, Delta, Whirlpool, Denso Corporation integrated us in their future robotic arms. So we have a lot of POCs, and the projects are going on right now. We have a great team. I myself, PhD, has a background in neuroscience and also in computer science. I was CTO in a company called TytoCare, which raised $150 million. Gilad is also with me, also has a lot of experience, and other guys that help us in manufacturing space. So just to summarize, we are a very young company. We've been formed 3 years ago. We have a very good traction. We raised so far less than $500,000. This year we get revenues of $280,000, and we are looking to raise $1.5 million. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Uli. Muhammad, you want to ask a question?
Yeah, I'll go first. Thank you. Very interesting idea. I love the way you explained it. So help me understand this. I have my assembly line that builds up my products, and I'm going to get my robots or the robots that are suggested by you. Now you're going to give me the software and charge me $3,000 a year to help kind of manage that assembly line. So it's more over robotic. But for instance, my product has a PCB, an enclosure, and then the placement of the parts. So how would that go by? Just kind of quickly explain me towards, think of me like your client, okay? Now
Yes. So today all the robots are blind. So you need to, in order to assemble a PCB, you need to arrange parts for the robot. Only then it can take them. Imagine that you can have like humans. You have a box of components, the PCB. Now robot comes, looks at the component, takes them, looks where they need to put in PCB and put it there. This is very basic application. It's like a pick and place where you don't need to arrange the environment for the robot. So it simplifies the deployment of robotic systems. So you don't need to fix everything and then build all kind of special holdings and everything, because you can see the object and you can adapt if the object moved in a little bit. So you don't need program like you need to program robot to go to XYZ or what kind of coordinates. You talk to them like a human. You're like, okay, you can see this cup, you can grab it and now put it there. So this is an idea.
So what I understand is that, again, I give you a contract for my assembly line. So you're going to suggest me to get these robots and these cameras, and then you're going to give me the setup. So that would include that you'll be able to program the robotic arm to pick and place all my objects as well, whether it's the PCB or the enclosure as well. Is that right?
So the way we actually work with integrators. So if you want us to help you with assembly line, they usually contract the robot integrators, which are local and know how to talk your language, and they can come to a factory, and we remotely provide them the software, and they know how to integrate the robotic arm with the camera. So we like a piece of software that connects between eye and hand for the robot. But we are not like, if you are far away, and this is what we did during pandemic, we are working with integrators and we're supporting them, but they don't need us. They know how to move the robot, they know how to do everything. What they need, the connection between the camera and where to go with your hand. This is what we provide.
So let's say you're expanding just quickly, and a place does not have what you're looking for, and that is those integrators. So you help make or those integrators as well, because that in itself would become a business model, right?
Yeah. So what integrators will use our solution to provide much better and much cost-effective solution to their customers. So this is the way how we scale up and expand.
Thank you. Thank you. Brilliant. Brilliant. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Danny, do you want to ask a question?
Well, first of all, congratulations, Dr. Uri. That's very impressive. I think we all could be here 2 hours asking you questions, but just trying to be short. In my understanding, I think that from a technological perspective, you have a great potential here. I know you're a PhD in neuroscience, but when you say like humans, that's a very strong statement. I understand the main core component of humans is, well, humans have feelings and emotions and other matters as well. But my question is specifically around, I think that's one clear use case in terms of not just technology problem you're solving, but on the customer problem you're solving. I understood the very basic, I think, bread and butter issue around lines of productions and improving the productivity or stuff like that. Could you walk me through maybe 1 or 2 examples of your customers, like besides that kind of more core basic scenario, what are the actual problems, business problems that those customers have that could be helped? For example, would it be applicable to something around health or medicine? Is that constrained more to lines of production? Could you just give us an overview of the real business problem that you're solving?
So right now we are focused on manufacturing, and we are trying to work with the customers that in this area. If you want, I can open you another presentation very shortly, show you all the use cases that we have. It's interesting for you right now? I can shoot
yeah.
very fastly.
It's up to the events manager how much time we have. I would be happy to look at it after the session, but maybe you can just give us a few sentences about one particular example.
The usual use cases is a pick and place. Like you need to find, I have my smartphone and I want to find exact, let's see if I don't see myself. You want to find exactly your position. So your robot comes and it thinks that that smartphone is like this, but you need to adjust. So this provides you basic, very simple sensoring capabilities. And actually it gives you 6 degrees of freedoms. You can adjust in any angle that you want. So this is a pick and place. There is no program called bin picking, but the different parts are lying around that you need to come and pick them up. This is what humans are very good at. And this is goes beyond, like you can do all kind of palletizing, depalletizing, machine tending. I think we can go as far as as a programming robots, like you're programming in humans. For example, I can say, okay, can you, Benny, can you take my cup? And then you come and you take, right? So I'm in this position that I can program robot to tell them, okay, pick my cup, without going and programming coordinates, blah, 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 all kind of things. This is what makes amazing this kind of technology.
Okay, so that's exactly my question was, if we were to expand it, for example, it's a simple use case, as you said, as a virtual meta pellet or somebody that will take care of an elderly person, for example. Is that something that's in the scope, or this is merely more of an?
I give you how we started. We started from a robot that cleans public toilets. I know it's not very much a healthcare, but I give you the reasons. The reasons because this is a very good application for robotics. You don't kill anybody if you make a mistake, and you can actually know the space you are working at, and it's a job that nobody wants to do. So this kind of applications, maybe we can one day we can come back and do this kind of things. And healthcare, yeah, it's very interesting. But what is nice about this application, we don't have regulations too much. So there's. I did a healthcare startup, TytoCare, which raised around $150 million, and now I'm trying to get back from FDA and do some other stuff.
Completely understand.
Yes.
Thank you.
Great, thanks. Uriah?
Hi, Uri. It's amazing, of course. I understood you're 3, right? Right now you're 3 people.
We are 3 people full-time, and we have some guys that are helping us, like interns, blah, blah, small people that are half-time.
The question is, with $1.5 million, where is it going? I mean, is it going on distribution?
Yeah, we want to scale up. We have a very good traction. Very big corporates are very much interested in this, what they are doing, and we don't have enough internal resources to support them, and also to scale up and approach more customers. By the way, guys, I can show you right now a demo of how it works if you're interested.
I'm always interested, but I'm not ruling here.
But this is
for
this
time
is
purposes, we can send over your links later.
So the idea is to scale up and also to approach more interesting problems. Like there is a lot of happening in logistics when you want robots to pick your packages and dismantle the packages, and they've already been approached by several companies there. And this is one of the verticals that we are not touching right now, but because of our scale.
That's exactly the follow-up question I had was, of course, let me say this for you, right? I mean, of course, if I'm thinking about an exit, it's with Amazon. But because that's where robotics, I think,
Yes.
will be very, very relevant for their own margin. But I wanted to know, in terms of distribution, I didn't get if you're going through, if you're going directly or you're going through value-added resellers. Beside what you explained to us, what is the role that you have? But I would like to know a little bit more about this. And geographically speaking, if you have already a focus or you're going 360 degrees.
So during pandemic, it geographically was split it on Teams, Zoom, and
Of course.
Google. Okay, so this is what geography. And also we have right now 3 companies in Japan that are interested in our technology. We integrated, we did 2 POCs and integrated our solution in Denso robots. And this is how we scale up. They sell robot and our package comes like a bonus for the customers. And each robot they sell, we get the license. This is how it works with Denso. And this is what we're trying to replicate with other customers. So
Excellent.
Denso knows how to operate this software. We just teach them one time, but they know how to support us.
Did you have an agreement like a value-added reseller? I mean, are they value-added reseller to you? Are they partners?
No, they just
distributors.
We just have some agreement. Still, we don't have numbers. We don't been promised how much they want to sell. We don't have these numbers yet, but we have all the agreements in place. And also, this is how we're trying to do also in the United States right now. We have a very good thing going on with Whirlpool. And we're solving there some different problem, and I hope it will come up with a good POC and also projects after that.
Amazing, thanks a lot.
Thanks. For time purposes, we will allow one more question, but we're happy to connect everybody afterwards to ask all the other questions there are. So Bennett, do you want to go with your question?
Sure, thank you very much, and great presentation. And I don't want to get too deep into the weeds, but a couple of technical questions. We've got some investments in this and similar fields, and I know with your technology, especially with pick and pack, 2 of the things that we have heard are critically important. First is vision cycle times, how quickly the object can recognize and cycle through, and second, object recognition accuracy, how if there's some sort of pass rate that you have where it's picking the right objects, and wonder if you could talk about that.
So we have a very good understanding of this problem, and we already we work very fast. I'm sharing right now the screen with you. You see this is my camera. And from the speed point of view, you can see how I find my like a smartphone. This is me. So it works at like 20-30 frames per second. That means we are not stopping our robot. So this is not the barrier. And also our technology you can go with the camera as close you want, and we get the precision, sub-millimeter precision in several use cases, which is related to position of the camera. Since we can use very small sensors like USB camera, like very small ones, we can position the camera on robotic arm and we get infinity close to the object, which you cannot do with laser-based technologies.
Gotcha, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Uri, and all the judges' questions. And like I said, we're happy to connect afterwards to complete other questions that there are. I would like to introduce our next startup, UltraWiz, with Asaf. The floor is yours. Thank you, Uri.
Hello, guys. So it's very nice to meet you all. My name is Asaf, and I'm the head of sales and business development here at UltraWiz. You all can hear me, right? And see me? Yeah, good.
Yep.
Okay, so UltraWiz is actually a company spin-off of Elbit Systems. And actually what we do is we develop a solution to enhance productivity and efficiency as well as safety for cranes. As we all know, cranes is a bottleneck inside job sites, ports, and heavy machinery industry. And post our pilots, we increased the efficiency in 30%. And so this moved the needle in a very big and saves a lot of money for the GCs. So let me walk you through our presentation very shortly. So problems that we tackle one problem is productivity in job sites. The second one is safety. As we know, it's a big problem worldwide, safety in job sites. And the third one is labor. We know that the kids of today, that they're going to be the operators of tomorrow. They don't want to go up 100 meters, walk for 12 hours, eat cold food, etc. So we give that solution as well. Our vision is autonomous cranes, exactly like autonomous cars, just a matter of regulations and getting there. And how we want to get there. We are doing it through a 3D model of the site for best routes via 10 centimeter accuracy. It's also a BIM compatible via an IFC format. We also identify objects on the ground like cement racks or workers without an helmet, so we can notify the project manager or the operator. And we have our own anti-collision system based on AI, and that can tell you which cranes are too close to you, if you're getting too close to buildings and to other elements that may have a risk on you. We do so by adding sensors to the crane. It's an add-on, so you don't need a special technician or anything. And actually what it does, it captures the job site 360 degrees, 24/7, with an accurate stitching patent. Comes from Elbit Systems, and we have that patent as well. And that enables us accuracy of data and automation. Now, there are two operational stations. The future is definitely from the ground, as you can see here, or you can see my background as well. It's a real operational station. But for now, we have all the capabilities inside the top cabin. Includes an ADAS, exactly like Mobileye for the crane. We wrap everything together in an asset management that all the stakeholders in the job site can see performance statistics, physical metrics, productivity, efficiency, and every other metrics that you just want to see of the crane. So it's kind of like a logistic tool as well. As you can see, those are the two mode operations. One is already ready to market solutions, and we are post 3 pilots. And the second one, we did a pilot already as well, but it's a matter of regulations, and we are working with it in the States with NIOSH and OSHA, and in Germany with TÜV. So as you can see here, this is the main control room from the ground. I have to say that we worked in Israel with Tedhar, that is a design partner, and we built over 70,000 square meters from the ground with no one on the top. We got a special permission from the Ministry of Labor to do that for 1 year now. And it was with great success because we give him all the capabilities, but from the ground with all the advantages of not being up there. In the meantime, until we will finish all the regulations, we do have all these capabilities on the top cabin as well. As you can see, an ADNS, a touch display, trolley view. You can know where the trolley is at all times, safety-wise, the anti-collision, as you can see. So we give the operator a lot of data, but not just data that he can look and don't know what to do with it, but real data in real time that he can know what's going on and be much more efficient and much more safer. We also scan the materials that are coming into the job site, so we know where they are GPS-wise, and we know where it's supposed to go. So we can make an automation task instead of the signal guy downstairs going with his walkie-talkie and telling everybody, oh, come here or go there. We also complete it with a mobile app that gives you an asset management and great task planning, as well as live maps, like you can see heat maps. So you know what happens built versus planned. And in the end of the day, we give you a daily performance report, either for one job site, or if you sit in your office and you have 10 job sites, you can just move from one site to another and knows all the metrics and statistics, but it's real action items. It's not just, okay, what he did and you have nothing to do with it, but why he didn't do that, or why did that, or if he did what he was supposed to do. And my last slide is our technology is based on the state-of-the-art from an accuracy stitching from Elbit Systems. And I'm showing this graphic, this slide, because all the symbology that we did and all the graphics that we did came from the Apache helicopter's helmet. That was my boss, used to work for 17 years. And all the symbolic came from there. And this is very clear to the operator. And that's how we distinguish ourselves from other companies as well. We are a team of 13 people. We are working in Haifa. This is the north of Israel, in the Matam, in the Elbit offices. We also have another office in Beersheba. Regarding worldwide, our markets for now is the UAE market, the US market that we already have an order of 5 systems, top cabin system, 1 in Italy, and we are in talks with Germany. So we see the traction. We are very close to round A, and that means that we want to do scale to produce our systems, because for now it's not scalable yet, and we want to do it. That's it. Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you very much, Asaf. I already see 2 questions. Denny, would you like to go first?
Yes, thanks for that. Very impressive. I have many questions, but I'll summarize just for the sake of time. First of the, I will just give you 2 of them now. The first, it's not a tricky one, but maybe naive, but maybe not. When you just started calling out the 3 business problems, 2 of them were productivity and safety. And I'm just making an assumption here, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think there are certainly trade-offs between those, right? So I'm wondering if your system, you can probably be more productive and less safe, or vice versa, right?
No, I disagree. No, because when I do automation task for the crane, okay, I make him much more productivity when he knows where all the material is and where it's supposed to go. I don't need the signal guy to be downstairs, okay, because I'm doing automation tasks, so it's much more safer. The symbology that sits on the trolley, on the hook itself, gives him everywhere where it goes and where it's supposed to be, so it's much more safer. And when I can identify workers without a helmet or different elements or different piers that are open, I can alert the operation and the project manager. So one has nothing to do with each other. On the contrary, I do it much more efficiency and much more productive. And I would add that after our post-pilot with Tedar, we show, and we also have a PR on that from Tedar's side, that we increased by 30% the productivity of the crane. You have to understand that the burn rate in Israel in the construction sites is around 500,000 shekels. We save around 13 days annually. You do the math yourself, and this is without even talking about safety issues. So,
okay, so that's good that I said it's an assumption. But the other simple question was, I think you kind of answered it, but just to be clear, what's the profile of a ideal customer for you? And I think give me just an idea of the actual.
Great question. So we have 3 typical actually clients. The first one is GCs, general contractors. Okay. The second one are crane manufacturers, Liebherr, Jasso, Potain, etc. And I didn't just throw these names. We are working with those. Okay, already we have POC and we are working with some of them at least. So so this is one thing that we are working on. And the last question, what you asked me, the last part was?
I'll ask you later if there is time. I'll just be cognizant for the other raised hand by Uriah.
Just for you to answer you, the markets that we are aiming to, it's like I said, the US, UK, and UAE for now. But we are talking France and Italy as well, but those are the main markets for now.
Great, thank you. Uriah?
Yeah, thanks, Benny. I wanted to ask about the competition.
Sure. So we do have competition. We have actually 2 big, not big, but we have 2 competitions. One is from in-house, actually a company in Israel. They're doing more or less what we do. Obviously, we are better, you know, but no, I'm joking. But well, I think we are a bit different because we're giving a wide site solution. We're not just giving a sensor, or we're not giving just an asset management. Rather, we're giving the all, you know, a complete solution. So it's sensors, it's a 3D module, it's a hockey hook, it's anti-collision, it's you know, it's all the asset management. No need for material sales no more, you know. So I think this is our difference in Israel. In the States, there is a great company, I'll be honest with you. They're very impressive, called Versatile. We know them as well. No, they're very good. You know, I need to give them a compliment. They're doing a great job, but they have only one solution. They sit on the hook and give all the data. It's not in real time. It's not action items. We do that. We give you an action items of everything, of a module, of new elements that were built during the day. So I think they are competitors, but a bit different. There can also be a complementary to our solution.
That's what I wanted to ask you.
And
Great.
that's what I'm
You answered
pitching.
my question.
That
was my follow-up question. Perfect.
So when I'm pitching, for example, to Turner, and they're telling me, oh, we are working with Versatile already, I'm saying, you are right. You should work with them, but we are complementary to them as well because they don't give you the white side solution.
Thanks a lot.
My pleasure.
Thank you. Aiden?
Yeah, thank you. It's Adan, but I'm sorry if I have a bad mic, but at the end of the day, I was wondering, this is, by the way, an excellent solution to a lot of different problems. You don't have people climbing on it. And I understand like there's like a weaponized application also I can think about, but how do you protect the crane of being hacked and protecting the job site? Because I can definitely see like a hacker taking care of the crane and lifting out things to the truck and, you know, from the comfort of his home. How do you protect from hackers and stuff like that?
So that's a great question, cyber-wise, and we are working with cyber companies. So sometimes we are connected to the interfaces of the crane, and sometimes we just give alerts. And once we give alerts, it's a closed circle. So no one can penetrate from outside, okay? And when we do, it's not me. And when I am integrated with the crane, and when we drive with it, we have a special cyber security firm that's doing whatever it needs to do, so no one, so no one can hack it, because we understand that it's a very can be very problematic and very dangerous as well. So this is one of the things that we did solve. So we have a special cyber security company that's working with us on that, and it proved itself as well. But it's a great question. Thank you.
Great, thanks. We have time for another 2 questions. So Bennett, do you want to go?
Sure, thanks so much. Great presentation. Two quick questions. One technical, one financial. On the technical side, you mentioned multiple crane manufacturers, and I'm just wondering, does hardware and software, is it universal? Is there much customization that needs to be done for a different type of crane? And then from a financial standpoint, just wondering what your financing has looked like in the past and how much you're looking for on this round.
Okay, so there are a lot of cranes. So before we integrate, we do get all the interfaces of the cranes. You have like 6 to 8 big manufacturers. And if it's not a digital crane, most of them have more or less the same interfaces. So we can integrate with them. For example, now in the States, it's a new kind of crane called Terex. We got the interfaces, we did our adjustments, and now we are ready to integrate with them. Financial point of view, we raised $5 million seed, okay? And we are aiming to round A between 15 and 20 million, because we see the potential, we see the traction, we see the companies that we are in talks with now, and I feel pretty confident that we are on the right track, and going outside of Israel and to the States, UAE, UK, and other places as well.
So are you looking for the 5 million now, or are you looking for the A now?
No, we finished with the 5 already, and we need to close some more POC so I can show more traction, and then we will go toward our round A.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
One last question. Pedro, you want to go?
Yeah, sure. Thank you. So my question is more regarding the sales pitch, right? So how do you actually gain confidence from the crane operator or the project manager, right? Because I imagine in UAE, they are much more tech savvy and, early adopters of technology. But if you come here to Brazil, I imagine, those kind of stakeholders wouldn't be that adoptive of such a new technology, right? So how is your sales pitch to them?
So honestly, I don't know Brazil so much. We haven't been in Latam yet, so I can't tell about Latam, but I can tell you about Italy, or I can tell you about the UAE, and I had a conversation today. The operators really like it. And think about it. You don't have to go up 100 meters half an hour and then go down half an hour. You don't need to stay 12 hours in the cold, and sorry for saying they're doing your bathroom in a bottle. And this is the situation today. Sorry for saying that, but he's honest. So I'm giving him option to sit down on the ground with an ergonomic seat, with an air conditioner, and I'm giving him better eyes and ears than he has upstairs. And he doesn't need to do anything more. On the contrary, with just a small another 3 or 4 days for his training, because he's doing a training anyway to be an operator. So it's another addition of 3 to 5 days, 3 to 4 or 3 to 5 days to operate it from the ground. But we help him, we give him all the symbology, and it's known symbology for everybody. And we give him all the graphics and levels so he knows what's going on at all times. So on the contrary, it makes it much more easier. And once you get used to the machine, and this is what we felt from the operator and the pilot that we did, he didn't want to go up no more. And when he went up, he told us, listen, I need the capabilities that you gave me down for the top cabin. And that's why we invented the top cabin solution as well, because he told us, listen, I don't want to go up no more. I mean, I want to stay down, but regulations wise, we are not there yet. And we will be there. It's just a matter of time. So I don't think, even if they don't like technology, they don't like to go upstairs half an hour and stay in the cold and all the things that I mentioned. So I think once I will be with them a day or two and I will show them the capabilities and how easy it is to control it and how much better it is. And it's pretty simple to see it. You know, I can just show you the difference immediately. He's getting used to it, even if he's a very old guy or he's a very young guy. And it's also opening the door for young generation, because, you know, they're different, they're more spoiled, and we see a problem in shortage of labor. So we give this opportunity for more women to be operators from the ground, what is today is only 5%, and for young people as well, when today they don't want to go up. So honestly, I think we don't have a problem there, at least not something that I encounter. On the contrary, people are enthusiastic about controlling it from the ground with better visible, with better, you know, statistics, with better capabilities.
Makes sense. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Great, thank you so much. If there are more questions, of course, we're happy to connect. I would like to introduce our next startup, BioCircular, Biobiotic, with CEO Adi Goldman.
So hi everyone, I'm Adi Goldman. I'm CEO and co-founder of Biotic. Did you know that only 9% of global plastic consumption is being recycled? The rest ends up in landfill, finds its way to our natural resources, and we end up consuming about a spoonful of microplastic on a weekly basis through our food, air, and water. Biotic envision a world where plastic is no longer a concern, in which we purchase our product in the exact same way, and after use, we toss it to any trash without the need to sort, recycle, or worry. The plastic market that needs to be replaced with alternatives is currently over $580 billion. And compared to a flat to no growth of other biomaterial, the PHA polymers, where we are at, is expected to grow over 40% year over year. What we do, Biotic provides a circular, fully bio-based, fully biodegradable polymers manufacturing process using marine biomass as feedstock for our precise fermentation process, targeting to provide optimal alternative to fossil-based plastics. Or in other words, we use macroalgae and our secret recipe to create toxin-free materials to replace plastics. Currently, most of the bioplastic ecosystem uses terrestrial resources that are limited and fresh or treated water, which leads to high cost, tend to provide niche solution, and usually require industrial compost to biodegrade. Biotic, on the other hand, uses renewable marine biomass, which is already naturally grown in every ocean all year long, has a positive environmental effect, and does not compete with arable land. We use untreated saline water in the process to reduce energy consumption as well as contamination risks and allow much larger scale of process. We use green extraction mechanism, while we also extract valuable byproducts to ensure minimal waste of our process. And closing the circle, our polymers fully biodegrades into CO2 and water in any environment. We target similar costs to fossil-based plastics. Our marine biomass and unique approach enable scalable continuous process, and our polymer fit existing production line and industrial needs, and we do all to ensure a seamless transition for the producers and the consumers. As a commodity manufacturer producing bioplastic flakes or pellets, our customer range across all industries, we can modify and control the thermoplastic polymer characteristics, and they are widely applicable to anything from very flexible to very ruggedized products, and of course anything that's in between. We have successfully accomplished a lab scale proof of concept and a bioreactor scaling up by 100. We are currently working on optimization to increase efficiencies, increase yields, and reduce costs, while conducting pilot projects with Fortune 500 companies, and are also in developed discussions with additional industry leaders. Our funding team includes serial entrepreneurs with numerous background companies, and the team brings together a shared passion for the environment and extensive experience from various fields, including marine biotechnology, metabolic engineering, regulation, business, and scaling up processes. We are currently in our seed round, looking to raise $2 million. If this resonates with you, happy to provide more information. And thank you for the opportunity to present here. Back to you.
Thank you very much, Adi. I'm opening up for questions. I see that we have a question from Ubi.
Thank you. What a great idea for reducing the greenhouse emissions and the climate change issues. So just I want to know about the uninterrupted supply chain, how you want to ensure that thing.
In terms of the macroalgae?
Yes, the raw material from your for your product.
So there are, I would say, roughly 3 approaches to go about that. First of all, there are current farmers that are growing the type of macroalgae. We are focusing on green macroalgae currently. They are growing it for cosmetics and food purposes mainly. So we can use the waste of these industries. They are not using the carbon source which we extract. So this is something that we can use. The
Because
other part,
collecting it from various sources could be a hurdle in that element.
now the idea is to be localized. So everything that we do is with the purpose to be localized. So there is no need to ship anywhere the material. It is grown in almost every country that has an ocean nearby. The biggest in the world are currently in Asia, so Indonesia, Malaysia, China, India. But in every other continent, there is a huge ecosystem of growers. And we also have collaborations in some of the places, both ocean-wise and land-based aquaculture.
Okay, thank you.
Great, thank you. Uriah?
Thank you. Adi, can you please could you drive me through the business model? Because I understand you already did a lot, but I'm not sure I understood exactly what. Not because you were not good, it's because I'm in completely other dimensions. And this is very exciting, but I'm trying to understand if I got it correct. So before going on, I would love if you could just give me like a use case that is really like, concrete for me.
Well, the idea is that we want to produce a commodity. The polymer that we produce can be modified using our process, basically on a metabolic engineering of the microorganisms. We can control the end product characteristics, which means that the pellet, for that matter, at the end of the line can fit either polyester, which is like textile. It can fit ruggedized products like computers, garden furnitures, whatever that is hard, or the most buzzword around the world, which is packaging or single-use plastics. So the hassles that today's alternative has most of the time is the ability to run through the existing production lines, which cause a lot of extra capex on the companies that want to incorporate these polymers, and that's why most of the time they are being neglected to some niche market where it's either a company that produces a plastic bag or a bottle or has something else. Our idea, and this is also one of the benefits of this polymer, is that it can work in existing production lines. So we target a drop-in alternative. You, as a manufacturer, will not need to make any change in your production line. Us, as consumers, will have the same look and feel, the same characteristics. At the end of the line, everybody likes plastics, you know? It's cheap, it's lightweight, it's harmful to the environment. So we just need to find a replacement that will keep the same benefits, but remove the need to recycle or, you know, incinerate.
You make me feel like a boomer, but I understand. I mean, I am probably a boomer. But what I mean is that this is kind of a magic thing. So that's why I want to understand. So far, did you get to produce something that looks like, let me, you know, to be very simple, plastic bag?
Yeah, well, plastic bag, we are a bit far away from that. We are early on, but we have produced polymers. We have produced polymer flakes, couple hundreds of grams. We have produced small films, so the size of my hand, just to see the clarity of it in a very basic mechanism. And now we are raising the fund in order to enhance our capabilities of production and enhance, because in order to run in a production line, you need a few kilograms just to run a line, an extrusion line. And that's a very small one. If you go to the producers, to Nestle, to Coca-Cola, and all of these big companies, J&J, they will require 50 to 100 kilograms to run a line. So our target is move step by step, make sure that the basic characteristics, then the mechanical and physical properties all fits the needs of the industry, scale up to kilograms to run, test, and produce bags or whatever it will be, and then do the next scaling up to the hundreds of kilograms to do inline testings with these customers. And yeah, it's an ambitious goal.
Now, I think I connected the dots. Thanks a lot. Terrific. Thank you.
Thanks.
Great, thank you. One last question, Benny.
Thank you so much. Very interesting work, Adi. I think my one short and simple question with not a simple short answer is you are in a very, very interesting space with no shortage of challenges, you know, around. So if you had a magic wish or you know, in other words, what is the main you know, blocker or the thing that keeps you awake at night, or things you could change? Is that on the cultural aspects in terms of people with awareness? Is it on the incentives? Is it on policies, governments? I mean, what's the one thing that you think could be a real killer to unleash all your potential, or that could be hindering it right now?
I would say you know, the short answer would be human being. The longer one would be part of what you said. So I think awareness is a key here, and the awareness today is driven by regulation, unfortunately, and regulation today is driven by, you know, the forces of oil and gas. The force of regulation today targets recycling, which doesn't make sense. It's much more costly. It's much more less environmental friendly, and it will keep us always creating and manufacturing plastics. So one big part that will need to be changed, and we need to do it as an ecosystem. So it will not be just Biotic. There are other magnificent companies that are doing alternatives to plastics. We need to slowly or fast incorporate those polymers as accepted alternatives to fossil-based plastics, and make sure that they are labelized as needed, that the awareness for customers will be transmitted. Because today you see biodegradable, you don't know if it needs a compost, you don't know if it needs a home compost, you don't know if you can throw it to the same place with the plastics. So it's a mess. So I think the long answer will be regulation aspects that drives most of what you mentioned, Benny.
Okay, yeah, I'll be happy after this call if you want to reach out to connect with some fellows that were doing some initiative like that before Corona. I think hopefully it's still alive, but it's something that started in Brazil, but it's supposed to be a global thing. So thank you.
Yeah,
good luck.
Thanks.
Great, perfect. So thank you so much, Adi. And we're going to go now to our last but not least startup of the day. D2B, presented by Or. The floor is yours.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. My name is Ori. I'm the co-founder of D2B, which is the first B2B marketplace for sustainable product powered by AI and VR technologies. Our team is Ifat and me. I'm coming from the financial sector, being as a corporate financial consultant, moved to social impact entrepreneurship, and also formerly the CEO of the African Refugee Development Center. Ifat has extensive experience in online marketing and growth hacking, and formerly also deputy marketing manager in Grand Toronto in Israel. Great. Looking at the opportunities in our market, there are regulations that are deriving from the Paris Climate Agreement from 2015 that are generating a new market of sustainable product. And at the same time, we have millennials and Gen Z that are not waiting for those regulations and are already looking to purchase sustainable product. Between the years 2016 to 2018, we see 507% growth of available sustainable product in the market. But at the same time, when sustainable retailers are looking to connect with sustainable brands and to purchase and to place wholesale orders, usually the brands needs to pay between 15 to 25% commission. Plus they use third parties like agent, trade shows, or B2B general marketplaces. Usually they have geographical limitation, they're time consuming, and they're expensive, which is why we developed D2B. We connect directly between sustainable brands and retailers. Our commission is 10%, but more importantly, we specialize in sustainability. We validate the brand sustainability. We save valuable time and money to both brands and retailers. We don't have geographical limitation. We're an international platform, and we connect them all in one place. And the technology that we use first is AI, that's in order to generate higher profit margin. But the second one is VR, and that has it's also connected to the values of B2B. The first stage is to use VR, basically 3D imaging of the product, and that's in order to generate less waste in the manufacturing aspect, which I'll happy to elaborate further. But further along, our vision is that in the long term, in more than 3 to 4 years, to use those files for on-demand 3D printing by retailers, and by that really disrupting the whole wholesale manufacturing vertical, basically a solution to the waste problem that we currently have. The market size, the B2B e-commerce is $6.64 trillion in year 2000. The sustainable market is expected to reach $12 trillion in 2030. And the sustainable apparel market is already, in a year from now, $8.25 billion. Our business model is 10% transaction fee from orders placed in the platform. And we're also looking to have advertisement fee and promotional and premium promotional packages for appearing in newsletters and social media. Our traction, we already have 170 brands and retailers that joined D2B from 35 different countries, and we already have 650 products that were uploaded to our platform to date. We're currently the only B2B online marketplace dedicated to sustainable fashion. Our competitors are either general B2B marketplaces or dedicated trade shows. And we're looking to raise 1.2 million. We already have 100K committed to our round. And our milestone for the next 18 months is to have 16 brands, 2,000 retailers, and 2 million in GMV. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Or. I'm opening it up for questions from the judges. Yes, John. You're still muted.
Sorry. I was curious about how you protect a marketplace like that. How do you create barriers to competition and not have someone come along with lots of money 1 year from now and set up a competing platform? How do you sustain this business and protect it?
I think perhaps I'll show the slide. I think it's about how we differentiate ourselves from others. The main aspect, I think, is always in order to be successful in what we do is the values that we set for the marketplace, since at the end of the day, that's what retailers need. When they're coming to DTB, they want to know that they're receiving something that is genuine, that they can sell to the end consumer. So in that aspect, it's a dedication to the sustainability. I think it's one aspect that we have that guard us. The second one is our model is international, and that's very different than other marketplaces. Usually they start local, and we're looking to have a concierge service that would assist brands in that, and brands and retailers. And also those two aspects that I mentioned. The first one is the net 90 for retention for our retailers, since it creates high retention, and also they gets them to bring the brands to us. And the third is our vision, which is the VR aspect that I mentioned earlier, because I think that's a unique aspect that gets both the brands and retailers along with us. Since at the end of the day, when you are a sustainable brand or a retailer or us, we have kind of a shared vision or a shared value that gets us at the same place together. It's in many ways, I would say it's easier for us to acquire sustainable brands and retailers than if they were not.
One follow-up question, if I may. So one way to protect your market is to grow very quickly, get good market share, and hopefully have sticky relationships with customers. So what is your growth model over the next 5 years? Is it for quite aggressive growth? And what stage are you actually at now? I've seen the number of customers, but do you see yourselves 10 times or 20 times the size? What's the growth prospects?
Yes, we need to grow fast. That's our plan. And the way that we do that, the way that we did it so far, is partnering with trade shows, since it brings us a lot of brands and retailers at once. Online events, which was really good during COVID, since it also brings us a lot of traction, but also targeting specific good quality brands and retailers. So yes, we're looking to scale fast, and those three are really important, in addition to having our social media work that we currently do. This is how we got to where we are.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Benny?
Hi, a very interesting concept. I have related questions, if you may. Two basic questions. One is, I'm clear on what you're trying to accomplish in the vision, and it's clear there's value there. I'm not super clear, sorry if I missed that, but what are the tangible deliverables or outcomes that you give to your clients? That's number one. Number two, out of curiosity, I see your or a co-founder has your last name. Is that your wife or someone related as well?
It is my wife. And we're doing it together. In regards to what we offer for the brands are looking for people to purchase, retailers to purchase their inventory. And these days, they can either do it through agent trade shows, and that's usually more expensive than our offering, or general B2B marketplaces. But then again, that's time consuming because they need to do it in several platforms. And what we do is we specialize only in sustainable. Therefore, the retailers that are looking for sustainable products, the idea is that it's all going to be all in one place. For the retailers, it's basically very easily. They're looking to buy something that is genuinely sustainable, on one hand, which is important since we specialize in that. And they're also looking to find the biggest variety in one place. It's similar as perhaps when we're looking to purchase something, and and we're looking to a place that specializes in that place, knowing that this is where we're going to get what we're looking for. But in addition to that, we also have several aspects that we are covering it for, as I mentioned, also in terms of the financial aspect for the retailers or the concierge services, and that's in order to give an added value to that, to those aspects. Okay,
do I have just for one more question? I mean, I was leading the e-commerce group for Microsoft for EMEA, and I'm by no means an expert in e-commerce. I just had to learn a bit about it. So maybe a naive question, but how is that going to look at vis-a-vis the Amazons of the world? Number one, and then number two, I hate to throw in some jargon there, but recently I was invited to do a live on Metaverse, and I knew nothing about it, so I had to learn a bit. So I wonder if there is any impact or influence on that, or blockchain, or any other related technologies, since you mentioned, I think, VR or something like that.
The first one is to be honest, I'm looking ahead. I'm more concerned not with Amazon, but with having more B2B marketplaces that would be, for example, vegan or just recycle. So I think it's going to be more fragmented in the future. I think Amazon, it would be hard for them to convince retailers that they're selling something that is genuinely sustainable while they're not. Also, don't forget that retailers, you would rarely find in a trade show, for example, a brand that sells fur next to a brand that sells sustainable product. It's something that doesn't look well for the brand. So it's not something that would work well. In regards to the technology that you mentioned, the VR 3D printing, it's really more 3D printing. I'm just connected to the VR because we want the brands to use the VR first. This is it's not, doesn't have to do anything with Meta, but it has to do, it's significantly disruptive. There was a giant advancement in the last 2 years, and there are several Israeli companies that deal with that in terms of enabling the 3D printing of regular product. It's not there yet in terms of wholesaling, but if you can see it in the coming years, in 3 to 4 years, it means no more custom, no more shipping, and no more VAT. This is a significant game changer, and we want to be the first marketplaces that would enable that. Basically, to locate the relevant places, and they exist, by the way, also in Tel Aviv. You have places like that, and to know what they're currently manufacture, what file they need, to know how to make that so that the retailers, the brands will be able to change the file from what the currently VR file that the brands use for the retailers. And at the end of the day, you need to imagine the retailers that are looking to purchase something and not really purchasing the item, but purchasing a file and going with that file and purchasing something, which is, I don't think it's something at the moment that we can really imagine. It's a game changer.
Cool, thank you.
Thank you. Due to lack of time, we won't be able to ask more questions, but I see that there are. So we would love for, we're going to be in touch with both the judges and the startups, and we will try to help you guys follow up with all the questions that you have.
Thank you.
I want to take this opportunity to say thank you to all the startups for the amazing pitching and presenting your amazing technologies. We would like to invite the judges now to complete your ratings so that we can calculate the winners. And while Maria helps the judges and calculates, we would also love to hear maybe some insights from our judges, open up some questions between judges and startups, and let's take it from there.
Okay. Let me tell some words to today's participants. First of all, startups, thank you for pitching today and for the work you've done. And I wish you all success and become unicorns. And I believe in these solutions for today. And thank you for thanks to our today's judges for your activeness. Please finish your voting. If someone still can find links, please inform me, because I'll do like closing of voting process in a minute. Okay, if everything okay, so let's count down 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and I'm closing the event. How it sounds. Okay, and I will be back with the results. Please feel free to share your contacts in our chat and everything.
Do we need to do anything to submit, or
No, there is no need to submit, just put a mark.
My daughter's got a message for everybody who was presenting. What you gonna say?
Thank you, everybody, for presenting.
Thank you. What's your name? What's your name?
Tell your name.
Angela.
Aldila?
Angela.
And you are the future co-founder, CEO of which company?
Tell her what company you're gonna make up, or what you're gonna take over the company. Which one? Tell the name. What's the name of my company? You're gonna take over my company.
It's in stealth mode. She doesn't want to disclose yet.
Yeah, she doesn't want to disclose it.
If anybody wants to share any insights or input about how you feel, if there is a correlation between the startups we heard today and the trends that you see, it's a good time to express yourself.
I guess sitting from Pakistan and listening to the pitches from Israel is a very moment that we cannot achieve if we don't have the COVID right now, and all we have is Zoom here. So thanks to Zoom and thanks to all the Israeli startups. You are doing wonderful.
Thanks. It's nice to have participants and judges from Pakistan. So thank you for representing.
Thank you. I'm ready to announce today's 3 winners. Let's start from the third place. Third place today gone to voters. Congratulations. Congratulations. Second place is for Ultravis. Congratulations. And the winner of today's event is Robot AI, and the founder wrote to the chat that he is leaving.
He had to go.
Yes, he had to go. So we'll congratulate him privately. Okay, thank you, everyone. Thank you, girls. Thank you, Jessica.
Thank you, everyone. Your startups were amazing and inspiring, and we were really happy to hear everything. And like one of the judges said, you're already winners.
Yes, it's true. It's true. Amazing solutions.
Thank you. Thank you all. Congratulations for such a great event.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. It was really great.
Thank you, and it's always a great place, technology, and it's a great place to see everybody connect on a technological and on the ecosystem level. Entrepreneurs, everybody like putting aside all the nonsense and differences and all that, ridiculous crap that we don't need, and unify as, this is the best place to meet people and understand that the world is getting better, and hopefully the technologies would make this a better place, and we'll actually meet in next time on the metaverse. That I wish that would happen. Besides it being a nice buzzword and anything like that, it would be nice to actually sit down. I had meetings in certain metaverses, and it's fun. It's more engaging than Zoom, that's for sure. And the claw thing can actually move things around, while we talk. So, it's been a fun experience. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you all for coming.
Or being a bit more old-fashioned, maybe we all meet together in Dubai, Tel Aviv, or anywhere else.
Yeah, that's
pretty much in Dubai March.
Blockchain
Week in March.
Yeah, and I mean, it's amazing because I think this conjunction that is right over here, technology is really something that we can hope for can bring a unification and a blissfulness in everybody of us, because it's actually connecting everybody, and we're literally ready to leave our differences apart because we are more educative now, I would say. Thank you very much, guys. Peace out.
Thank you all.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you, everybody. It was inspiring.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.